Welcome to the electrical portion of the SOLIDWORKS 2019 What's Awesome webinar. My name is Thomas Smith and I am the president of Spark Consulting Solutions. Spark is a strategic partner of Converge, helping to provide high-level electrical services and support to Converge's customers. In this presentation, we will be taking a look at what's new with SOLIDWORKS Electrical and SOLIDWORKS PCB 2019. When operating within a multidiscipline environment, it can be rather difficult to ensure that everyone is on the same page within the design project. With SOLIDWORKS 2019, this issue has been fully addressed within the SOLIDWORKS ecosystem. When it comes to SOLIDWORKS 2019, you can now get projects completed faster, with fewer errors and confusion amongst your team. Now let's dive in and take a look at some of the great product enhancements found within this new release. When it comes to routing, SOLIDWORKS 2019 now has new enhancements to the electrical and routing that allows for support of inline devices such as butt connectors to splice wires together. In SOLIDWORKS Electrical, you can define a simple symbol with a passing terminal circuit, connect different wire styles to the same connection point, and use the wire cabling order manager to verify all connections. You can now accurately represent real-world designs connecting multiple wire styles together. You can add all the wires and components to a single harness to prepare for 3D routing. When moving to 3D in SOLIDWORKS, this design is also supported. Simply add in a 3D part for the symbol and your route as previously performed. Now in SOLIDWORKS 2019, you can create partial and fixed length coverings on your routes to easily represent tape, labels, and more. The new Partial Coverings Manager provides you with two options for defining your coverings. If you know the required length of the coverings, simply specify the value and define the offsets. If the length is unknown, you can specify offsets to achieve the required design. This is ideal for fixed length items such as labels or items that need to cover the majority of the route. You are able to leverage your existing coverings library as well as create your own. You can even apply more than one covering per route. All of these new features will help you create realistic routes within SOLIDWORKS Electrical 3D. SOLIDWORKS 2019 has a number of performance improvements as well. In the Routing Library Manager, the workflow in the Component Wizard has been revamped, reducing the number of steps and time required to run the wizard. The Select Components, Import Data, and Export Data functionality on the Piping and Tubing page has been streamlined as well, with improved performance and options to exclude folders within a scan. Reduce the time spent managing your library and get back to designing. SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2019 has improved the flattened drawing creation process with enhancements to save you both time and effort. Let's start with another harness in our project that is already complete. Improvements to the flattened drawing parameters make it easier than ever to create final drawings with SOLIDWORKS Electrical. New parameters and drawing options allow you to specify both the template and sheet formats. Create drawings in a format ready for inclusion in electrical file sets with the right size and templates to match the project. Defining the options during flattening will reduce the need for editing after sending the flattened drawing back to electrical. Updates to the annotation flatten options make defining the start point and modifying the results a snap to ensure you get desired results. The flow of data between SOLIDWORKS Electrical and SOLIDWORKS Routing has been streamlined, resulting in accurate, clean tables on your flattened drawings. Components and wires are included in a single BOM with individual item numbers, making ballooning a snap. As always, send the completed drawing back to SOLIDWORKS Electrical Project with both the blank sheet and template. Be sure it fits properly with our default electrical title block. Complete your flattened drawing layouts with easy, precise results in SOLIDWORKS 2019. In SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2019, the dynamic connector has new configuration and insertion options, creating even more flexibility when defining connectors on the fly. The connector configuration has expanded the parameters available to define the connector shape, with choices include corner radius value and pin side. It is easy to leverage the dynamic connector tool regardless of the symbol needed. Let's add a new connector to this project to finish our harness design. New options in the insertion panel make it easy to turn on or off common variations to the same base symbol configurations. Wipeout frames, rounded corners, and continuation zigzag can all be individually controlled for simple modifications. Let's finish adding this connector on our other schematic. Note the zigzag indicates that this is just a part of the connector. These new options make it easier than ever to quickly define the exact connector symbol you need. Creating and customizing reports is also now easier. The report editor has new modification options that enable you to control the results of your report generation. Isolate tables to a single page and add the table name to the schematic name. With more granularity, generated reports are more flexible, simplifying the design process. Occasionally, creating just the right report requires the use of the expert mode to modify the SQL query. Enhancement to the SQL query editing tools make it easier than ever. The list of available variables on the right-hand side has been expanded to include application databases, keywords, and views. Simple and extended views are groups of commonly combined variables in one table. Just insert the desired field to start building. A quick test confirms the addition was successful. All that is left is adding it to the column for the final report. Consolidated tables make report customization a breeze so you can focus on designing. Now, when working with the report in the manager, you may have noticed hyperlinks to review the part properties or to navigate to the schematic symbol. New in SOLIDWORKS 2019, generated reports contain hyperlinks to related component properties and symbols just like in the report manager. Let's generate this report and take a look. Now with easier navigation and more ways to customize your reports, SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2019 makes it easier than ever to get your projects done faster with the right information. SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2019 includes a number of user interface enhancements, increasing ease of operation and productivity. The first thing you will notice is that the icons have been updated to support 4K monitors. A number of windows have seen a facelift, including the Revision Manager and the Libraries Manager. The Go-To command has been integrated into the PLC Manager and in the Wire Cabling Order Manager, again reducing the time spent navigating the project. Another great time saver is the new option to convert single line or schematics to a mixed scheme drawings, if you need to expand to include both styles. Throughout the software, a number of new time-saving buttons are now available. Insert macros from a new button in the schematic ribbon bar. Within the Origin and Destination Arrow Manager, a new option allows you to delete multiple arrows in a single operation, reducing the clicks required. Finally, the new Cable Core Swap button in the Terminal Strip Manager lets you quickly fix a common mistake right from the manager with no need to go back to the schematic. All of these UI improvements make it easier than ever to navigate the software and complete your designs. As you work within SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2019, you will find a variety of delighters to improve your work processes. New in 2019, archive projects using the Archive Project Wizard to choose whether dependencies like 3D files, images, and shortcut data are included in the archive. Ensure the project archive includes exactly the data you need the first time. A new report captures termination type information applied to manufacturer's part and aggregates the data into one report, grouped by type. Easily reference all the termination types needed for a project in one place. Control the termination types available within the new Termination Type Manager. In the Manufacturer's Parts Manager, you will see a new option to set the display units of each part's properties in the manager, as well as that superparts have been renamed to electrical assemblies, resulting in a cleaner, easier to use interface. Keep a lookout for new functions in the Project Configurations Manager, including black box connection point customization labels and renumbering component priority order. Black box connection point customizations in particular are an exciting option to ensure even on-the-fly components represent required information from the start. SOLIDWORKS Electrical introduces the PDM connector tool as a new data management option with SOLIDWORKS PDM Professional. It is a powerful and unique integration in the electrical software sphere. Manage your electrical files with the familiar and powerful SOLIDWORKS PDM interface. The project folder structure in SOLIDWORKS Electrical is mirrored in the project structure within the vault. Accurate bill of materials are automatically placed in a separate folder, and they are easily accessible by anyone across the organization, not just the electrical designers. Information for these parts is synchronized between the SOLIDWORKS Electrical Library and the SOLIDWORKS PDM Vault. Use SOLIDWORKS PDM as your true source for all product design data, not just mechanical. Design teams will always have access to up-to-date information, keeping your project accurate and on time. The brand new SOLIDWORKS PDM connector tool for SOLIDWORKS Electrical gives you greater control while enabling better collaboration between mechanical and electrical design teams. SOLIDWORKS Electrical continues to advance and innovate, reducing project timescales and increasing product quality. For SOLIDWORKS 2019, they have added new capabilities to PCB collaboration to be able to import copper as well as decals into SOLIDWORKS. This control can be found inside of settings for the collaboration. The first thing we are going to do is turn the copper option off. I have pushed this design from SOLIDWORKS PCB with the copper option off and opened it inside of SOLIDWORKS Mechanical. I've brought in the design, and you can see the decals and graphical representation of the top and bottom layers. There are no inner layers for copper inside of this design. By turning the copper representation on, we are going to re-import this design from SOLIDWORKS PCB. This new design will bring in additional information for decals and copper representation on all layers. SOLIDWORKS Mechanical automatically notifies us of this new version from PCB. Noting we have additional copper layer information, we are going to accept these and open inside of SOLIDWORKS. My feature manager will now have additional layer information for the copper layer as well as decals from PCB. Back in SOLIDWORKS, we are going to change the transparency of the board so we can see inside the inner layers, and all the copper layers are now visible inside of MCAD. We are going to hide all decals so it's easier to identify the inner layers. We are also going to assign different colors to our copper layers. We can now see that every trace and every via can be viewed inside of SOLIDWORKS Mechanical just as it is inside of PCB. This allows the mechanical engineer to see how much copper is on each layer, also allowing him later on to transfer this copper information into flow simulation for thermal analysis, allowing PCB to collaborate with MCAD for in-depth studies. When designing a PCB board, you might not always know the location of mounting holes for other mechanical features. Using SOLIDWORKS PCB, we're going to send this blank board to our mechanical engineer and have him add mounting holes inside of SOLIDWORKS. Using the same SOLIDWORKS PCB collaboration, we are going to look for a blank board that we have sent by searching in projects and opening inside of SOLIDWORKS. The mechanical engineer has added different size holes on this board, utilizing many of the SOLIDWORKS patterning features to create them. Once he has completed his design, he will push it back to SOLIDWORKS PCB. SOLIDWORKS PCB automatically notifies you when a mechanical engineer has made changes. We will accept all the mounting holes and other holes which will automatically show up in PCB. This is a tremendous time saver to leverage SOLIDWORKS mechanical capabilities by adding holes of different style patterns, effortlessly incorporating them into SOLIDWORKS PCB, eliminating any possible misalignment between MCAD and ECAD. That concludes the SOLIDWORKS Electrical and PCB 2019 What's New presentation. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today, and please feel free to reach out with any questions.